Axolotl, you are the one. One lake, your last room under the sun. You still have a good time. You don't metamorphose, and yet you enjoy a sexual prime. Axolotl, we are a pair. We failed to mature and can't live in fresh air. We both hang in the deep, but only you grow new limbs and eyes and feet while you sleep. You might say it's not fair, all your kin breathing air, but you know they die young, while you have years of fun. Still, it's all over. You are losing ground. The city's selling your lake by the pound. Before I send in the clowns, just let me know if you're able to handle our modern ups and downs. My only answer, it's in a bottle. Your mother and I are sick to death, Axolotl. After all we've done, after all we wanted for you. So help me, we'll drive off a fucking cliff. So help me, we'll drive into a lake and fucking drown. If we weren't already lake dwellers and aquatic. We'd crawl under a rock and fade away. Under a rock and fading as a species. I wish the ground had opened up to swallow me. If it hadn't already swallowed the lake, Axolotl. Let's not beat around the bush. It serves no useful purpose. Anyway, we don't have a bush. And don't give me the long face, although that's what you have. I think you know what this is about. The neighbors came around. The word they used was cannibalism. It seems their little one lost 3 of her legs. That is, if she's really a she, we won't know for a couple more years. 3 legs, Axolotl, and the tail. And don't come back with the ambystoma excuse. There's still enough of this leg left to suction your food without blowing through the neighbor's legs to fuck. Plus a tail, Axolotl. Sure, you're a carnivore. Tell me you're a carnivore. Sure you are. But it means insects. It means earthworms, max, midge larvae, daphnia, crickets, moths, mosquitoes, eggs. Or let me put it so that even you can understand. If it doesn't have an exoskeleton made of chitin, don't eat it. I ain't shitting. Does the neighbor's legs and tail have a fucking exoskeleton? No. Does it have a 3-part body? Does it have 3 pairs of jointed legs? Does it have compound eyes and 2 antennae? These are the questions you must ask yourself before every meal. In fact, these are the second questions you must ask, because the first ones are, does it look like my fucking neighbor? Let me tell you something. There are more than 1 million described types of insect in this stinking joint. And there are estimated to be between 6 and 10 million undescribed insects because we just don't have the fucking time to describe them. There are so many insects that by the time you finish describing 1% of them, there would be 10 million more to describe. Whereas I want you to describe how many legs the neighbor's girl has. You know the answer. I don't have to tell you. Fucking 1. Because you ate 3 of the fuckers and the tail. So help me, I'll drive off this cliff. If we weren't already lake dwellers. Axolotl. And you know what shits me the most? We're the ones that are endangered. Not insects. You think insects are endangered? They're not. We are. For every last axolotl that leaves the planet forever, 1 million new types of insect are born. And all you can think to do under these seriously obvious circumstances is to eat the neighbor's bits. Yes, you, an insectivore. Okay, I'm not saying you made us extinct. Don't feel so grand with yourself that you think a few legs and a tail pushed us to the brink. They haven't, because they'll grow back. Frankly, you could suction up the neighbor's heart and brain and tits and they'd still grow back. So don't get all Hannibal Lecter on me. The thing is this. In the few weeks it will take for the neighbor's bits to grow back, 1 million trillion insects will be born and live and die, and you could have eaten some of them. They wouldn't even care. They expect it. It's the only language they understand. You think some insects' parents would come to the door to complain? They wouldn't. They're not endangered. We are. Axolotl, you are the one. One lake, your last room under the sun. You still have a good time. You don't metamorphose, and yet you enjoy a sexual prime. Axolotl, we are a pair. We failed to mature and can't live in fresh air. We both hang in the deep, but only you grow new limbs and eyes and feet while you sleep. You might say it's not fair, all your kin breathing air, but you know they die young, while you have years of fun. Still, it's all over. You are losing ground. The city's selling your lake by the pound. Before I send in the clowns, just let me know if you're able to handle our modern ups and downs. My only answer, it's in a bottle. You haven't a clue what all this does to your mother. And do you seem to care? Go ahead, laugh in the face of extinction. Move up, be your own man, have some fun, while you still have fucking legs and a tail. After all, when Lake Xochimilco dries up and disappears due to being clogged with uneaten insects, look how many neighborhoods there still are to choose from. Iztapalapa, Azcapotzalco, Cuicuilco, Tlalpan, Cuemanco, Tasqueña, Ajusco, Chapultepec, Tecamachalco, Coyoacán, Iztacalco, Cuauhtémoc, Coajimalpa, Coyotepec, Netzahualcoyotl, Cuautitlán, Ecatepec, Huehuetoca, Papalotla, Teotihuacán, Iztapaluca, Tizapán, Chicoloapan, Tezoyuca, Tlalnepantla, Naucalpan. Oh, except wait, silly me. None of them are lakes. Do you get the picture, Axolotl? Are you with me? This is the only lake. This is the only place with axolotls in the whole wide, stinking, miserable joint. And since yesterday, it's 3 legs and a tail short. The city, the city, the city, the city, the city, the city, the city. Oh my God, it's encroaching, broaching, roaching, mooching, sucking, spilling all over and killing our habitat like rat-a-tat, like baseball bat, like schoolboy fat, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! I don't think we're in Xochimilco anymore, Toto. Is it fuck? Do you want to know, son, what happened to us? Well, I'll tell you. If you keep your mouth away from my legs there. You see, this whole town used to be one big lake. Aztecs ran it, or they thought they ran it. We really ran the Aztecs. We owned this town. Then the Spaniards came and drained it to make fajitas. But this bit, Xochimilco, survived. It's always been here. It's not going anywhere. The city isn't coming. It's bored of fajitas. Do you want to know, in a way, what really messed us up? Did you ever wonder why we're down here, under a rock, right now? Nothing to do with legs, or tails, or fajitas. The answer is fish. Some little bioscience geek thought it looked good on his CV to run a fish experiment. Now, 98% of all the meat in this lake is carp and tilapia. And they shit and eat insects. Your mother and I are sick to death. You, big meat eater, I guess it never occurred to you to munch on a fish instead of some of the last remaining legs and tail in the lake. But who cares, right? So we're a funky neotenic salamander who never metamorphosed, who never lost their gills and left the water, who never left home to live in Iztapalapa, Azcapotzalco, Cuicuilco, Tlalpan, Cuemanco, Tasqueña, Ajusco, Chapultepec, Tecamachalco, Coyoacán, Iztacalco, Cuauhtémoc, Guajimalpa, Coyotepec, Netzahualcoyotl, except in a tank. We can live in Paris in a tank, in fucking Milton Keynes in a tank. Go ahead, laugh. Let the future bite you in the ass. Let it suck your legs off. Because only one thing is now true, my love. That after 1,000,000 years, it's time to grow up, Axolotl. Axolotl, you are the one. One lake, your last room under the sun. You still have a good time. You don't metamorphose, and yet you enjoy a sexual prime. Axolotl, we are a pair. We failed to mature and can't live in fresh air. We both hang in the deep, but only you grow new limbs and eyes and feet while you sleep. You might say it's not fair, all your kin breathing air, but you know they die young, while you have years of fun. Still, it's all over. You are losing ground. The city's selling your lake by the pound. Before I send in the clowns, just let me know if you're able to handle our modern ups and downs. My only answer, it's in a bottle.